Hi everyone, my name is Angela from Angela Stitches and welcome back to my channel. So I finally got my original setup ready to do my updates. Um, so because I didn't really stitch the past 7 months or so, this space was cluttered with all kinds of stuff. So I couldn't really make my updates like I used to here. But last night I kind of spent some time to clear this space, so I got my original setup ready, and honestly I like this setup way better because it's much more brighter here because of the window. Um, I was doing my updates in like the other corner where my desk is on top of the shallow shelf that I put up, but it was really dark there, and also since like my wallpaper is grayish blue, it was color correcting the fabric, I think. So this is more true to the actual color of the fabric. I think my hand is making the fabric green again though. But I just want to show the correct color since it's a really pretty fabric. So yeah, I'll probably do like the shorter updates at the wall and the longer updates here because I have to hold my phone to record over there on the wall, and I kept shaking my phone by accident when I was talking. So yeah, but for stitching today I'm planning on finishing the Santa. By finishing, I mean all the things that I can stitch, like the belt and the candy canes and the back stitching and a couple of the snowflakes. These three here. And then I'm going to start my third Santa. So the one with the raccoon, this is Santa 2021. And this I have a lot that I could work on. Like all the animals, the raccoon obviously, that's my favorite part. And I thought this was a deer, but now I'm not sure what that is. A fox maybe? I don't know. And there's a bird here. I just noticed this little one. Super cute. So I'll probably work on this as soon as I finish the 2023 Santa on this piece of fabric. I still don't know what this is. I was trying to figure that out. So this is 30 by Zweigart 32 count, and I thought this was the same fabric, but it's a little lighter in color. But I think it's going to look okay. So I'm going to stitch one here, and then on this, I haven't decided, but I already finished this one. So one of these I'm going to work on. Um, and then I'm going to order more of the dirty Zweigart fabric to stitch the last one. And then I'm also going to get the 2024 Santa for this year and stitch that as well. And I already talked about this in my last video, but I want to get all of these Santas finished so that I could do my FFO this December, or even in November actually, so I can have ornaments by December. And I'm already planning my December projects in my head, which I think it's a little crazy because it's not even Halloween yet, and I'm already thinking about like the Mirabilia Christmas tree projects and stuff like that. So, and then my second whip is my Nightmare by Courtney Collections, and my goal for this is to finish the 2 pages of the chart by end of this month. So I need to finish this corner and this corner of the first page, and this is where the 2 pages overlap, like down here. So I need to do that and do all of this. So I still have a lot left of the second page. I think it cuts down to right here. So I need to do all of this, which is like half the page, I feel like. And I think there's like 9 pages in total. I might be wrong. But yeah, so I'm very much in the beginning stage of the project, but it's a fun one. So yeah, I think that's everything that I can say about this one. But I don't know if you can still get this fabric from Color and Cotton, but it's called Tarnish, and it's a 40 count fabric, and I'm stitching 1/2 with Silks for You silk. And you can still get this silk from their website and also their Etsy shop. I got it from their Etsy shop. But I'll put up the name of this so that you can find it, because it's not a name, it's a code, like with the number. So and I feel like I'm going to have a lot left even after I finish Nightmare, so I'm going to try and find a similar chart to Nightmare so I can use this and have a companion piece to Nightmare. I think that's going to look really good together. But that's not gonna happen anytime soon. But if you know a design kind of like this one, let me know. I would like to check it out. And I'm going to add another project into my rotation since I'm not gonna need this Q-snap after I finish this Santa, and this piece of fabric won't fit onto this Q-snap. I'm probably gonna use like a hoop or something instead of the Q-snap, so I'm going to work on my lavender and lace again. So this is called Firefly Fairies, and I think all of the DMCs are done on these two fairies, and I was working on the green fairy this year before I stopped stitching, but I want to have like a big finish soon, and I think this is like the most closest to a finish that I have in my whip right now. And this is Da Vinci Crystal fabric in 32 count by Picture This Plus. So it's the sparkly fabric, and I think it goes really well with this design. So I'm going to work on the green fairy and do all the DMC cross stitches, and after that I'm gonna go back and do all the specialty stuff for these empty spaces. I can't remember if they were Kreinik or beads, but there are some spaces that I need to finish still. I don't know if you could see, but there are still empty spaces. But mostly it's like embellishments and a lot of back stitching, if I remember correctly. So yeah, if I could get this done by this year, that would be great. So yeah, that's the plan for this weekend and next week. I know it's a lot, but I like to work on different projects in different sizes. So like a small one and a middle-sized one and a big one. So yeah, I'll come back later when I have an update. So I just stitched a little bit on Nightmare, and I also recorded while I stitched, and I thought it was going really well, but like 10 minutes later I realized that something was off, and I found out that I was off a stitch when I started, so I had to rip this whole section out and redo that. So I had to rip out the whole section that you just saw me do. But yeah, I fixed it and it's all good now. And I get questions about stitching on 40 counts, and honestly, I don't see the holes either, like I do in 32 counts. So I'm just like feeling the fabric with my needle and just estimating and guessing if I'm sticking my needle into the right hole. And if it's not in the right hole, it's pretty obvious, so I can fix it right away. But I hope you try it, because it's one of my favorite fabric counts to stitch. And yeah, I finished the Santa as much as I can on it, So this is all done, the belt and the 2 candy canes, and the back stitching Smoky Night, or Snowy Night. So for now this is finished. So I'm going to start my next Santa tomorrow because it's pretty late right now, but I need to find a hoop so I could put this this little piece of fabric on it and start 2021 Santa. I think I'm just going to stitch it with the DMCs, the called for DMCs, but if I can convert some of the browns with color and cotton, I might do that. So yeah, I think that's all the stitching that I'm gonna do for tonight. So yeah, I think I'm gonna read actually before I go to bed. So I'll talk to you later. So I'm about to start my next Santa, 2021 Santa, and I decided that I want to convert some of the colors to hand dyes. So I got the called for DMCs. This is for the wolf, 610. I think that's a wolf. And then this is for the raccoon. And I think these are the only 2 that I could convert into hand dyes, because the other colors are like white and red, and I already have the floss for those. So this is where I keep them, and most of them are color and cotton from a couple of years ago. And honestly, I don't really see any browns that I could use. I have this, but I don't really think this is gonna work. Even if I just use the brown parts, I don't think the color really matches. It's not even similar. I used to get like the monthly mystery boxes from Color and Cotton, and I think this was one of those. Or like the mystery Halloween boxes from a couple of years ago. It's a really pretty floss, but not for this project. Let's see. So I found this. This is called Palomino by Weeks Dye Works, and I think I can actually use this instead of the DMC 610. It's pretty good. I think I like it. So for 420, I don't have anything similar, so I might just use the DMC for the raccoon, but convert the 610 with the Weeks Dye Works for this wolf here. And I think that's going to look really good because it's like a big block of stitching, and I think the subtle variegated colors are really, I think it's gonna look really good. Yeah, so I think I'm going to start with this. Start from the bottom left corner and work my way up. Tonight I'm going to work on my Firefly Fairies by Lavender and Lace. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And right now I'm in the middle of stitching the green fairy. So it's going to look like this when it's finished, but in a reverse mirror image because I'm stitching it backwards because of the fabric that I'm using. But look at all the detail. I can't wait to get to all of the embellishments like the beading, the sparkly flosses, and I think there's a fair amount of back stitching in this, which I'm not too excited about, but if it's going to look pretty, I guess that's okay. I don't know how long I'm going to stitch tonight, but I'll check in a little bit. So I think that was about 40 minutes. And I know it's kind of hard to tell what I stitched, but I just filled in some spaces here, and a little chunk here, and then across this part here. I just had on an episode of One Tree Hill, which I haven't seen since high school, so that was one episode worth of stitching. And I've already seen the show, so I was basically just listening to it. So, yeah, and then I realized that I forgot to show you my new start yesterday, my 2021 Santa. So this is how much I stitched yesterday on the wolf and a Santa boot. So I'm going to try and finish the wolf tonight and then continue stitching Firefly Fairies. So this is wait, hold on. So this is 2 episodes worth of One Tree Hill stitching. Did that make sense? But I got to the skin of the green fairy, so now I can kind of gauge where I'm at, because it was a little hard to tell just by looking at all the green stitches that are not done right now. But I stitched along this section basically, and a little bit down here too, like the empty little stitches. But so now I can tell, like, if I stitch along here, it's her hand with her wand, and then I can guess that her head will be about here. So I feel like I'm very close to finishing all the DMCs. I know I still have to go back and finish all the Krennics and the specialty stuff down here, like all these empty spaces. Well, this, I think that might be skin that I forgot to stitch, so I'll go back and do that later too. But yeah, it would be awesome if I could get a Mirabilia finish this year, or I mean, a lavender and lace, and it'll be my first lavender and lace actually. So I'm still going to work on this weekend, and then I haven't worked on Nightmare since my last update. I wanted to finish the 2 pages by the end of this month, but it's already the 30th, so I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm still going to keep this in rotation and work on it until I finish that one book that I'm listening to, the Zodiac. I forgot what it's called, but that one book. And then I'm still going to work on my Prairie Schooler Santa project. I did stitch a little bit more last night. I was trying to finish the wolf, but I didn't. And with this, I'm just going to finish everything else except for the Santa suit. And also, I realized last night that this fabric isn't even 32 count. So I think it might be 28 count. It's kind of hard to tell by comparing it like this, but it's definitely bigger. Like the stitches are a little bit bigger than this. Like the holes are bigger and the stitches are bigger. It's more loose, I think. So I guess the overall finish size is going to change. It'll be slightly bigger, but that's okay. It's already going to be a big sized ornament anyways, so I'm still going to continue with this project the way it is now. And also, I just want to use up my stash. So I probably would have just used this anyways, even if I knew it was a 28 count. So yeah, I guess that's all the update that I have for you. I think I like this rotation. Um, like all the projects are in different sizes and different styles and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to keep this rotation for a little while until I feel like I want to work on something else. I don't think I'm going to stitch anymore tonight, but I finished The Silent Patient and it was really good. The twist. I was forming my own idea of how this was going to end, and it really did not disappoint. So instead of stitching, I might read something from these here. So these two are comics, and then books, and this is Sailor Moon in Korean. I have the first two, and then I have a couple of the monster manga. It's also in Korean. I don't feel like reading manga or a comic book tonight, so I might choose one of these 6 books here. But this was really good. I could see myself reading this again in the future. So yeah, and I'm a very slow reader, and I read this in like a week, I think. So that's really fast for me. But I don't know what I feel like reading tonight because The Silent Patient was so good. Anyways, so I guess that's everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. So I hope you enjoyed watching me stitch, and I'm still working on the fabric dyeing video, but I'm not getting the color that I want, so it's taking a little longer than I expected, but I'm still working on that. So yeah, I guess that's everything that I wanted to talk about. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.